Hey, this is Stevie Rochelle from Tough and Metal Sludge, your favorite website. You are locked and loaded on the Music Mania podcast.
You ready for some screaming heavy metal? We rock!
But the evil that men do lives on.
We gonna bang your head!
You are now listening to the Music Mania podcast, brought to you by CD Warehouse in Gladstone, the #1 hard rock podcast in the Midwest, featuring hard-hitting interviews with rock's living legends. And now, here's your host, Clint Switzer.
Well, the summertime may be over, but the fun's just starting here on the Music Mania podcast, and we are welcoming a very special guest to this week's show in former Scorpions, current Kingdom Come drummer James Kottak, going to be joining us to talk about his 21 years behind the kit with the Scorpions, why he moved on, what happened there 2 years ago when he was replaced by Mickey D, and he's got some dates coming up with Kingdom Come, a band that was always compared to Led Zeppelin with their sound, which is understandable. He was a part of the first 2 studio albums. He's back in the band. The band's going on tour. A tour that starts next week in Seattle, Washington on the 27th. Kingdom Come is offering VIP tour packages. If you want to get out and catch this tour, Friday, September 28th in Vancouver, the 29th in Sacramento, going to be in West Hollywood on October 3rd and so on. You can go to kingdomcomeband.com to catch all the dates as they're going to be going all the way to Saturday, October 27th here in Kansas City. Guys, Kingdom Come's one of those bands, always been such a huge fan of. James Kottak. You think about James Kottak as a drummer being in bands like MSG, even Warrant, filled in a couple times even for Dio, and obviously the Scorpions. So this is a big tour for Kingdom Come. Get out there and see them for sure. Man, I tell you what, the summertime may be over, but it is just getting started for me. I just caught Judas Priest the other night here in Kansas City. Huge crowd for Judas Priest and Deep Purple at Starlight Theater, a venue that seats about 9,000. I'm always amazed at Rob Halford's voice and just how good he sounds even at 66 years old. Maybe a few too many of the new songs off the new album Firepower, but overall a really good set from Priest, and really glad I got to check them out. Got Billy Idol coming up this weekend. Things are just getting started. That's what's great. Kiss has just announced the End of the Road farewell tour. Man, I tell you, things are just going to get started. That tour starts in January. My concert calendar's already filling up for 2019 while I'm out filming a documentary, an SEC football documentary out on the road. So, you know what? As busy as I've ever been and loving every second of it, and we're going to be talking with James in just a few minutes, and can't wait to do that because, you know, the Scorpions are a band that I've always been such a huge fan of, and by the time that, you know, at 34 years old, you know, by the time the mid-90s rolled around, really when I started kind of getting into more hard rock and heavy metal type bands, huge into the Scorpions at that time, and I think I saw them for the first time right around 96, 97, and that's James Kottak had just joined the band, so he was like the drummer that I always knew from the Scorpions, and had kind of a public battle with some substances and some things that went on in his personal life, and was able to step away from the Scorpions 2 years ago. Mickey D has replaced him. He's doing just wonderfully in the Scorpions. It's a perfect fit, but James now back. He's taken some time off. He's healthy and happy, ready to take on this tour with Kingdom Come. Hope you guys will check that out, kingdomcomeband.com. You can get all the dates. Guys, before we go to our interview with James Kottak, got to tell you about our sponsor, CD Warehouse in Gladstone, Missouri. For over 22 years, a staple of the Northland. They buy, sell, and trade CDs, DVDs, vinyl, and more. Contact the owner, Randy Ringer. Tell him Music Mania sent you. He will give you a discount, or it's on us, guys. CD Warehouse, Gladstone, Missouri. For over 22 years, a staple of the Northland. James, we're doing just great. I can't thank you enough for joining us, man. It's a long time coming. We are just so excited to talk to you. Huge anniversary coming up. This tour's coming up with Kingdom Come. First off, just kind of talk about how you're feeling about it, kind of the emotions for you as you rejoin Kingdom Come. And this is a huge tour for you guys, man. This is going to be something else.
You know, it's been something I've wanted to do for years. And we actually got to the point in 2013 where we were all here in LA. But then I get a call saying, hey, we're not saying farewell, and we're going to do another album. So I had to pull the plug on it then, but we finally made it here till now. And, I'm super excited, of course.
Well, the tour starts September 27th in Seattle, and several dates running through October. But a lot of talk about more dates coming in 2019. I assume there'll be some more dates from you guys coming up on this thing.
Yeah, we're getting up and running right now. That's the whole object of this, and we want to just test the waters, see what's going on out there. If because I mean, being away that long, it's the original four of us: me, Danny, Stag, Johnny B. Frank on bass, and Rick Starr on guitar. And we're going together here, and we've been rehearsing and doing all kinds of good things, and we're super excited.
And not only that, but playing the first album in its entirety, as I understand, the self-titled debut in its entirety. It's a big treat for fans, man. That's a renowned album. Everybody loves that one, and you were part of the first two, so that's got to be extra special for you as well.
Of course, and on the second album, we all contributed to the songwriting. On the first album, I think I wrote on 2 songs, but it's once these songs are considered like my babies or kids. Once you're involved in that aspect of it, you never lose interest in it because it was part of something you created. And this is, I think, going to be really fun. And we're, like I said, up and running and excited. And
Not only that, but 30 years ago, you guys were also part of the massive Monsters of Rock tour with Van Halen, Scorpions, Metallica, Dokken. Just, real quick, some memories from that tour, because that's like one of those tours everyone talks about is, one of the greatest, some of the biggest bands in rock at the time, and you guys being a part of that had to be a cool thing for you guys at that time.
Oh, are you kidding? The very first show Kingdom Come ever played in America was like, it was 3 days at Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. It was like 45,000 a day. And then it just went on and on and on. Also, getting up, I've met quite a few rock people over the years, but just, to be involved in that and your name's up there with, Metallica and it was just super exciting.
Well, it was a great time, and for you, of course, you moved on to be a part of the Macaulay Schenker group. A lot of people talk about that being their favorite area of MSG, with Robin McAuley, a singer, of course, Michael Schenker, one of the great guitarists. Talk about your time with those guys. I mean, Michael Schenker Fest just hit America, and it was cool to see Michael with with Bonnet, with McCall, with Robin, Gary Barden, all the singers. It was awesome, man. But what was your experience like playing with Michael? I mean, the guy's just, he's a wizard. He's unbelievable.
Well, you know what? He is great. And it was myself and Jeff Pilson and, of course, Robin and Michael. And he was just super focused, and we just got down to business, got the songs up and running. I think we did pre-production and the entire album in like 10 days. Wow. Which is pretty fast. But, we were given tapes and stuff in advance. And then, it was just how wonderful,
It was a wonderful era for the band. I mean, gosh, you've done so much in your career playing with, bands like Warrant. I mean, you've done a lot of things. Obviously, sat behind the kit with the Scorpions for 21 years. Talk about that. Talk about. Obviously, you departed from the Scorpions 2 years ago. Kind of talk about the last 2 years. Was it kind of a difficult time for you? Talk about just kind of your departure and what the last 2 years has been like, building up to rejoining Kingdom Come, which has to be. It's almost like, hey, it had to, it happened for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, this will sound funny, but having had the opportunity to take a break, come home, and just recharge. I've never been off. I've been working full-time since I was 15. I'm 55 now, and it's been this really wonderful time to just be home, chill, hang out, ride my bike a whole lot, bicycle, and, kind of just do what I wanted to do for a while. And I have never had that luxury. Yeah, we had some slow years here and there with Scorpions, but in the back of your head, you're like going, "Oh my God, that's right. I got to go back to Europe in 2 weeks." It's always in the back of your head, and I was jet lagged for 20 years because we went over there so many. We went everywhere, but I'm so grateful and thankful, for all that time with Scorpions. There's really cool guys. I just saw them all at their show here in LA about a week ago, and and it was just it's great to reconnect. Take some photos and goof off and laugh.
That's really cool. I just caught the show last night in Dallas, actually, myself, and had talked to Matthias, and we talked about you, and he said that, basically it was just time for us both to move on. I mean, is that kind of how you would agree? For you needed the time.
Yeah, that's what I say. When you see quotes like, "Oh, I was dismissed from the band," and all, it kind of wasn't like that. We talked for months, from April to like October or November of 2016, and it just felt like time to get going, and it worked out. It's worked out for them, and they're just really cordial, cool guys, and they're my friends. I had the opportunity to go around the world 55,000 times with because I've been in bands where I wasn't friends with people, and let me tell you, it's no fun. And that's the one thing, getting back to Kingdom Come, myself, Danny, Johnny, and Rick, we've stayed friends all these years. We talk regular, and then we would as soon as we all four get in the room, we click. That's the only way I can put it.
Do you think that's important, especially as you get older? Because when you're coming up and you're 18, 19, 20 years old and you're out there with a bunch of guys and you're playing and you're hungry and you're trying to get there, you'll do anything to do it. But as you get older and you've been established, you're a veteran rock drummer that's been around and been with great bands. How important is that, just to have the camaraderie with the people you're working with? You may not have that luxury as a teenager, but now you're like, hey, I want to be around people that I like to be around. I mean, that's important.
I trust me, I've experienced it, and in both cases, I left the band as well as some other bands where it was just so not fun and cool that I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm not making a whole lot of money, and this and that. That was the case many years ago, and you go, what's the point? Because you have to be with these people sometimes 10 hours a day. It can really get on your nerves really fast.
Well, it's going to be cool. You guys are actually, if you go to your website right now, kingdomcomeband.com, you can get a meet and greet package for all these shows. So you're going to be there meeting all the fans. I mean, what's that like whenever you've done those before? I know you've done those with Scorpions, do that. This is going to be cool, reconnecting with some fans. It's going to be a really cool deal, and fans need to take advantage of this because it's very affordable. It's a very good deal. Go to kingdomcomeband.com and you get your VIP package for one of these shows, man.
Yeah, and I've always stressed, we have to make money. It's a business like anything, but I go, we're just coming back. Let's try to keep the price of like the VIP down, and the even the ticket price. Some situations we can't control that because the venue decides the ticket price. But it's how cool. We had many different ideas about it, but you get to spend some time with the old Kingdom Comers.
I think it's going to be great. When you think about the legacy of a band like Kingdom Come, obviously you were there for the first two albums, and Lenny went on and kept Kingdom Come alive. And here we go now, the members back together with Keith St. John. What is the legacy of this band? Because you go back to the debut, the follow-up. There was some success there, big tours for you guys, and of course whenever I talk to Kingdom Come about someone, they always have to say, "Oh yeah, that band that sounded like Led Zeppelin." I mean, is that something that gets old, or is it just like, hey, if you're going to sound like someone, if you're going to get that comparison, Led Zeppelin's not a bad one to get compared to, right?
Exactly, and I've said that many times, and. In the early days and whatever, I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding? Thanks for the compliment." I mean, and et cetera, et cetera. And it was a thing. During that time, I mean, they accused Whitesnake of that, like sounding like Zeppelin, and then another one. And then now here we are, 30 years later, and we have Greta Van Fleet, and they're exploding, and they're great. But they mentioned in their interviews a couple times about, we remember hearing it, read about, because they apparently they really love rock and roll, they love classic rock, so they knew about Kingdom Come and the Led Zeppelin thing. So they even said in a couple of their interviews, wow, we kind of can understand what Kingdom Come went through, and that's so cool. But they're just like me. I was, I was always going, Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin. I was actually told not to say that. I was like, oh, why? We do sound a little bit like Zeppelin, and also during that time, we weren't kind of like other bands. We weren't a big hair band. We weren't playing metal. We were kind of doing, it's blues-based rock. But it's hard rock, too. But
well, I've always wanted to ask you about this because, we've talked to so many former members of Ronnie James Dio's band, and we've had guys on like Rudy Sarzo and so many more, Craig Goldie, and you filled in with Dio in 1997. You filled in for a few shows. We had Vinny Appice on. You filled in for Vinny, who was one of the hardest hitting drummers, of course, in rock, but you filled in there. I know it was just briefly, but I know you've probably crossed paths with Ronnie over the years a lot of times. What was it like kind of working with Ronnie and just kind of on a personal level, how much you knew him beforehand and, after you actually played with him, what the relationship was like?
Well, somehow, some way or another, I went to a barbecue at Vinny Appice's house, and this is, I want to say, 89 or whatever, and Ronnie was there. And I was like, oh my God, I get to meet Ronnie because I love that first Rainbow Rising album. That album is just a gold mine. And, you meet Ronnie, and he's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just like a real normal New York type of guy who's so friendly. And from that day on, every time I see him, he goes, oh, hey, James, what's happening? It really flattering to me. I was like, oh, my God. Plus, Dio toured with, I think we had Dio, Deep Purple, and Scorpions on it one summer tour. That was awesome. But getting to actually play in the band, I think I only did like 9 shows, but it was like one of the highlights of my life.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 8 years, since we lost Ronnie. And before we let you go, James, we got to talk about Kottak, your solo project. Last came out with Attack back in 2011. Now that you've had kind of a couple years to kind of chill out, and then you got Kingdom Come, but is it something you kind of want to revisit the Kottak stuff? I mean, what else you got coming up?
Well, we actually, so Rick started the guitars for Kingdom Come. He's played on all 4 of my Kottak albums, and we actually went in and recorded some stuff. Myself and a partner have own a studio, and we went and recorded quite a bit of stuff. The one of the problems is the record business is broken. Nobody has any money, and it's very expensive. Between the engineer, tech, blah. So this Kingdom Come thing finally got to go ahead, like say last November, December, and I've just been so busy with that and life that I just kind of like put it on the back burner, and but it's not forgotten or lost or anything.
Good. I mean, always a fan of your work, James. I tell you, it's just been a pleasure, man. We can't wait to see some more out of Kingdom Come coming up here, and we're here in Kansas City, so we gotta get Kingdom Come out here, man, sometime in 2019. So I'm gonna work on that. We're gonna make that happen, my friend. We were excited for the tour. Best of luck with everything, James. You're one of my favorite drummers of all time, and best of luck going forward, my brother.
Well, that really means a lot. I really, really appreciate it. And anybody out there in magazine land, hit me on Twitter, Jay Kottak, or Facebook, James Kottak, and of course Kingdom Come. It's KingdomComeBand.com.
Yes. Yep.
And there's of course we have Kingdom Come Twitter and Facebook and etc. And just enjoy your surfing.
Oh, absolutely, James. Thanks so much, my friend. We'll catch up down the road. Hope to catch you here in the Midwest sometime in 2019, my friend. We'll see you soon. Huge pleasure catching up with James Kottak there. Again, one of my all-time favorite drummers, just a great guy behind the kit with bands such as MSG, Warrant, of course, Kingdom Come, their first 2 albums, The Scorpions. Man, he's done it all, and he's healthy and happy, doing a great job. He talked about, kind of stepping away from the Scorpions and maybe some misconceptions behind why that parting of the ways took place. So good to hear his side of it, and just all the luck to James and Kingdom Come going forward. Guys, we can't thank you enough for joining us here on the Music Mania podcast each and every week. Try to have a new show up for you each and every week. You guys know all the songs already. On this show, you hear the stories. That's what we're about here, getting these interviews, talking with these musicians, and keeping it alive. That's what it's all about. So we thank you for continuing to join us and making this show successful. Going to keep it up all through the fall, winter, and on into the spring, summer 2019. We got your back. Your money stays and plays right here with the Music Mania podcast. You want your hard rock, heavy metal stories, your interviews, you stay right here with me and the Music Mania podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Clint Switzer.